Hey everybody, welcome to Takeoff with John Clark, presented by Rivers Casino, and we've got a very, very special guest here. Of course, the Phillies, they are riding high. Best home record in all of baseball. Matt Strahm joining us now, one of the best relievers in baseball. And if you want to vote for him to go to the All-Star game, I guess you can't, because relievers have to be chosen by managers. Yeah. But what would it mean to you to be an All-Star?
Yeah, the Midsummer Classic is something you always dream of as a kid. I'm not huge on the individual aspect of it, but it would be cool for that 4-day break to experience that. But there's 26 guys in here that we're ready to skip to October. We don't really care about July right now.
Well, you've done it all with the Phillies. You started, you closed out a very important game, and you play a very, very important role in the bullpen. What would you say is your favorite role?
Pitching.
Anything?
Yeah, anytime you're able to have the ball in front of, especially here at the bank in front of these fans, it's special. They just bring the energy out of me, I guess. But I know it's hard to believe. I don't care what I do. I enjoy pitching. I enjoy competing.
See, that's interesting because I was talking to Jeff Hoffman, your buddy. Yeah. He said you are so regimented minute to minute.
Yeah.
Do you need a defined role? Do you need to know exactly what you're doing?
No. So, my regiment minute to minute is all the way up until 5 minutes before the anthem. So then once the game starts, it is what it is, and here we go. But the whole regiment thing is just to be ready every night. And then even when I'm starting, my regiment changes based on what day it is in my start, but I'm still very regimented, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Now Jeff said if you're in Sudoku zone and you're playing Sudoku and he wants to play a little pickup or shoot some hoops, no.
Yeah.
You're in Sudoku.
Yeah, I gotta finish it and gotta get on to the next one. But like I said, just my routine, it's normalized for me and not so normal for everyone else.
So how about this year? What do you think you've gotten better at? What do you think you've excelled at or improved upon to have a great season that you're having?
Yeah, I can't thank my starting pitchers enough. So, we have an unbelievable staff here, and what they've done has definitely helped us as a bullpen to be able to stay fresh and stay sharp, not being overused. So, I think we had a week there in the first month or two where we covered 6 innings in 5 games. So it was like, I think Nola and Sanchi had a CG or something like that. It was wild. So, I credit those 5 guys and the work they've put in.
So you don't mind that when you go a little bit of time without getting in there because of your great starting pitching?
Well, it's not even like the Topper does a good job too of like letting our starters work through their inning. So you guys may not see me in the game, but I was able to get up in the bullpen with Nola in the 7th, and he pitched out of it. So that's kind of like pitching for me that day, even though I didn't pitch. At least I got on the mound, felt the slope. And that's what keeps you sharp. So that's the other part of my routine is if I go 2 days without pitching, I'm going to get on the mound before the game and just feel the slope for 5 or 10 pitches.
You mentioned the adrenaline you get from Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah.
Does it add a mile or two to your fastball, you think?
Maybe. I hope so. But, it's just, these fans are unbelievable, and I've never experienced anything like it. And like I said, I can't wait for October and just that atmosphere. We had it June 2nd, I think it was like a Tuesday, and it was unbelievable here. So,
how many times do you get a sense you have goosebumps when you're out there in front of this crowd?
Like I said, they bring the energy out of me, and it's just, like I said, never experienced anything like it in my life.
It's interesting because you guys had all those huge games in the World Series 2 years ago, NLCS games. You're playing big games in the playoffs. But yet this team is getting up for every game.
Right.
Some guys in the past have said, it's hard to get up for these regular season games. Why do you think this team is able to do that?
I just think Dombrowski's done an unbelievable job of bringing together competitors and gamers. You look at what JT did the last month, playing through some stuff just for the sake of he wants to play. He's a gamer, and that's what we have. We have 26 of those guys that are willing to play every game like it's their last one.
And you guys in the bullpen, while your starting pitchers are dominating and you're kind of waiting to get in, you guys play a little game, the hat game.
Yeah. We got to pass some time somehow. So.
Right. So my question is, because I was talking to a couple of guys, nobody threw their hat down thinking Kyle Schwarber in June could hit a home run?
We all threw our hat down.
You all did last night?
Not last night.
Okay.
Last night, I got Kyle's first home run. I called Kyle's first home run last night with my hat toss. But the other night, I think it was bases loaded. Kyle's coming up, and we all look at each other, and all of a sudden there's 8 hats on the floor. We all threw them out there for him. But yeah, the hat game, obviously, throw your hat predicting a home run for somebody, and then if they get out, your hat's dead for the game, so you can't win. But if any positive happens, so as long as the at-bat didn't happen or they go 1 for, so as long as they don't go 0 for, you get your hat back. So sacrifice fly, anything, you get it back.
So Alec Boehm right now getting 3 hits a game. You're surviving, you get 3 shots at it.
Yeah, yep. So if his 4th at-bat, if he comes up 3 for 3 and you threw your hat all 3 at-bats, you have another one. Usually what guys do, though, is when they throw it out and someone reaches, they just let it roll to the next guy. Just leave it out there. I don't know if that's because we're too lazy to get up and get our hat or if we just want to keep the rally going. But yeah, it's a fun little game.
That's cool. So just to describe it to everybody, you each get 1 hat. You take your hat, you throw it down in the bullpen. If you're thinking whoever's up is going to hit a homer, and if they keep, even if it's a single, double, triple, walk, whatever, okay, you still get to throw that hat down again. So who's up right now? Who's the leader in the clubhouse in the hat game?
I think it's actually Rui, even though he wasn't with us for the first month. I think his first week here he got 2. The first homestand he had, and then I want to say he had 2 last homestands, so I think Rui's got 4 on the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then if you have your hat down in the bullpen,
yeah.
if a home run ball,
yeah.
if a Schwarbaum hits your hat, what do you get?
Yeah, so Craig Kimbrell last year made a rule. I'm going to have to call him if it happens, because apparently if it hits your hat, the one with the most service time in the bullpen has to buy a Rolex for that person. And it was a cool rule when Craig was here.
Right.
And then Craig left, and now I got the most time in the bullpen, so it's not as cool. But we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Have you Googled the type of Rolex that you'd have to buy? Like how much
I believe it's dealer's choice. Craig said last year he got to pick it, so I'll find one that says Rolex.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So that hasn't happened yet?
No, last year actually Cove and Hoffy both threw their hat for Harper, and Harper hit one about 6 inches to the left. Their hats were stacked, and it hit right to the left of them.
Wow.
So it was close.
Craig Kimbrell was sweating a little bit?
A little bit.
Have you had to sweat any of them out this year? Any really close?
Kyle's second home run last night, nobody threw their hat, but it landed right where we usually throw our hats. So that was it would have been a close one last night if anyone threw it on his second one.
That's pretty cool. So this is the life in the bullpen, because I've often wondered, you guys get in here, I don't know, whether it's 2 o'clock, 2:30 or something.
Yeah.
You go through all of your workouts, and you may not see any action for what, like 4 or 5 hours sometimes? Like from 4 o'clock or something till 9 o'clock sometimes?
Yeah, we usually play catch around 3:30 for a 6:40 game. And then, like I said, with our starters, we're usually not coming in until 6 or later. And so by 8 o'clock at night, we're ready to rock. But we just pass some time, drink some coffee. We're fully caffeinated out there with Alvy. Alvy keeps us caffeinated, so we're good.
How many cups of coffee is your record out there?
Probably, I start every game with a Red Bull, so that counts as 1 coffee, I guess. I've probably done
maybe
like
2.
4. Yeah, they're the small Red Bulls.
Okay.
So yeah. Well, probably 4. But I went and ordered coffee with Alvy on the road the other day. And his coffee order will knock your socks off.
Really?
So we got up to the counter. I ordered my triple espresso latte. Then Alvy leans in and asks for 8 shots of espresso in a big cup.
What?
So that was his morning coffee. But yeah.
Does he ever sleep?
I don't know. He's always sweating and always going, so we're good.
That's great. You're not getting his order, are you? You're not trying it, right?
No. I'd be shaky. I'd be way too shaky.
Okay. So, but that's how you guys stay ready, huh? Because it's amazing you guys are able to stay ready. Like, do you do any workouts out there? You keeping the body loose?
Yeah, the first. You see, everyone has their routine. You see guys just move around doing their activation throughout the game. And then too, like knowing your role, like Alvy and Hoffy know that they're going to be the back end of the game, so they'll usually get out there in the 3rd or 4th and then start moving around in the 5th or 6th, and then they kind of sit there the 7th, and then one of them's going to the 8th, one of them's going to the 9th. And the rest of us, we all have our routines of whether it be plyo balls, bands. Just try to keep it loose down there, and it's think the daycare's something, the bullpen's something else.
So how about that? Do you have a specific daycare for the bullpen?
No, we just Orion's the youngest one down there, so we just got to make sure we keep him in line, but he does a pretty good job.
Does he kind of have to do the things you want him to do, or like not hazing, but like, okay, you got to go get us something?
Yeah, he's in charge of our bullpen bag with all of our whatever anyone needs. So you'll see him go around the clubhouse asking who needs what re-upped in the bullpen bag, and he's responsible for making sure that gets on the plane and everything. Yeah. So he's got his duties. He does a really good job of them.
Is there any other special stuff that you have in a bullpen bag other than your equipment? I mean, you got your extra coffee, you got your extra Red Bull, or anything else special in there?
No,
something to keep you busy in the bullpen?
No, these guys are real simple, and I mean, they're just nasty as is.
Yeah. Now it's interesting. So Schwarber, I guess, was about to go up last night to the plate. Did you take a bathroom break in June when Schwarber was coming to the plate? And maybe
depends on what inning it was.
Yeah.
The second at bat, I know, or his second homer, I know I was for sure in the bathroom because it was the sixth inning. I believe he hit that homer. I think it was the sixth inning. And so that's usually when I go in and wet my hair a little bit, give it a little Brandon Marsh treatment, and then come out and start my plyo balls. So as I was walking out, I heard the crack of the bat and just got around the corner.
So your routine can't get like Kyle Schwarber at the plate in June when he's like the greatest June home run hitter ever. That's not going to get in the way of your routine. You got to go.
I got a job to do too.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I'm pitching, Kyle's probably hitting in the dugout, getting ready for his next at bat. Yeah. So we all got our jobs to do, but good thing I got an iPad down there because I can watch it as many times as I want.
So when you see those home run balls from your vantage point coming to the bullpen or around there, who do you think hits it the hardest on this team?
I think the one Harper hit last year, that Kimbrel caught, that thing got to us in a hurry.
Yeah.
So that's he can spin them pretty well.
Yeah.
Kyle's kink your neck when you look up at him. Harper's you kind of duck and cover for.
So more of a line drive.
Yeah,
like it's getting there quick.
It kind of looks like that nice stinger on the golf course from Harper. But yeah, Schwarber's are majestic for sure.
He's driving it.
Yeah,
it's like a nice
his
drive.
He's playing the wind.
Hey, celebrity cook Steve Martirano is bringing his Italian-American cooking back home to Philly, where it started. Enjoy Martirano's Prime at Rivers Casino and Steve's famous meatballs with Sunday gravy, prime steaks, and more. So make reservations for Martirano's Prime on Open Table. I've been to the one in Fort Lauderdale. I'm glad it's back in Philly. So you just mentioned about the hair.
Yeah.
So is this something you also do like Brandon Marsh? Is this a daily thing, wetting the hair?
I mean, so I don't do it like Brandon does it. I'm not a fan of feeling wet. Like Brandon's whole jersey is wet.
So he loves it everywhere.
Oh, I mean, let's just think here for a second. When you pour water over your head, it runs down your back all the way down to your ankles. So, I mean, Brandon's wet the whole game. Mine's more so I wear my hair down when I pitch, and then you'll get little flyer hairs, and I just kind of wet those down. I'm not drenching my head. I'm not covering a Dasani bottle on my head, but I just gotta tame it, so to speak.
So how did this start? Like, what's the thing that
just didn't like the hair getting in my mouth, and it was the only way I could find it to stop blowing away was just get some water on it. And the thing is like I'll do it in the 6th, then I'll do it again in the 8th because you got to keep doing it. It dries, and then whatever.
Wow.
And I mean, the last thing I want to do is put hair gel in my hair because then probably get suspended 10 games. So gotta just use water. Yeah, you just gotta use water.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's interesting because does that also, when you're in a routine like that and you gotta wet your hair, she said twice or whatever, does that kind of like, you're set in your routine, it kind of takes your mind off of anything else that's going on in the game? Like you're not gonna get nervous about a big moment or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's like, I know guys that like to come down to the bullpen and they don't want to talk about baseball. Like they just want it to, when that phone rings, they just want the adrenaline to take over and go pitch. You have guys like Craig Kimbrel who are looking for a specific situation. He's a closer, he's been a closer, and he comes in and he's got it dialed down to when he goes in. So, I mean, it's a preference for everyone. I don't even think about it, I guess. Like, maybe Jeff says it differently, but I don't think it's like third out, I get up and I go do it, but it's just like sitting there, hair feels dry, I'll walk over and do it. So it's not like, I don't think I'm OCD, but But yeah, it's just routine.
Hey, it's working.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing is working.
Yep.
Who has the best hair on the team then?
Oh, I mean, me.
Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah. No doubt. I mean, Bomer and Stubby could have some amazing flow if they grow it out. But
that's true.
Bohm's chickened out on me twice and cut it, and Stubby as well.
So you're challenging Alec Bohm a little bit to keep up with you?
Yeah. I always try to incentivize him to keep it going, but can't get it to him.
So this clubhouse, I mean, every time I talk to different guys, like people will say, Kyle Schwarber, what a leader. He takes guys out on the road, does things that they like to do, and he kind of comes into your world. Like, what makes this clubhouse so special in your mind?
It's 26 guys that care about each other and have one goal in mind. It's you show up to the park every day not worrying about anyone else but yourself. But other guys care. So it's just kind of that like brother feeling. I mean, they always say playing college baseball, JUCO baseball especially, you hear guys say like that's the closest you'll ever be. There's no rules on how much you practice and you guys are together all the time. I mean, I played JUCO baseball and this is the closest thing I've felt to that. Is just, and we're all too, like a majority of us have kids and the ones who don't enjoy our kids. So it's a big family and it's a lot of fun.
And this is the best clubhouse and the best vibe
down.
You've ever
Hands
experienced.
down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Who is the ultimate vibe guy other than Garrett Stubbs? Is there somebody else who can also bring the vibe?
Guy. Oh, Pache. Yeah, Christian Pache is the man. He's hilarious. He can bring a smile to anyone's face at any time. So he's awesome.
Who would be the neatest guy on the club? Neat freak or like just the most
clean?
Kept locker, club, house, whatever. What? Is there somebody who is just?
I don't know. I feel like Taiwan Walker would be that way. Alvarado. I mean, I've actually been in Alvarado's house and his closet is too organized. Too organized. Color coded, short sleeve, long sleeve, button ups, quarter buttons, full buttons. He's got his shoes color coordinated, spaced out perfectly. It's
wow.
Yeah. He's ready for Cribs, the old TV show Cribs. He's ready.
We're
for
aging
that.
ourselves, I guess, right?
Yeah. He's ready for that. He's ready for that.
That's pretty cool.
But, yeah.
Is there somebody who's like the messiest? Like it's just like everything is.
We got a few guys that can fall into that. I mean, if you had Marshes, Bohms, Turnbulls, and Bryson Stott's locker, I know 3 of those 4 are close, but if you had all 4 of them next to each other, it would look like a lost and found pile. So,
to show orders?
I mean, it is, yeah, they take 3 pairs of shoes off. I mean, they switch their shoes, it feels like every hour, and by the end of the day, they got 2 cleats, 2 shower shoes, pair of turfs, and bats and gloves laying everywhere. So it's those 4 would probably be the messiest.
Maybe it's an age thing. Those are pretty young guys, right?
We'll get on them.
We'll eventually clean up a little bit.
D Hall too. I've shared my locker in spring with Derek Hall the last 2 years, and he likes to get a little messy. Yeah.
Who's picking up the tab on the road, and who is like running from the check?
These guys. I mean, you see it come out, and there's 6 metal cards flying across the table, hitting the table. So everyone is willing to pick it up. I don't really see anyone alligator arming it. So yeah, it's, like I said, it's a unique clubhouse.
It's pretty cool. And talking to a couple guys, even in spring training, they said after getting so close the last couple years, JT Realmuto even said it's something that we talked about in spring training. We wanted everybody to know, on a daily basis, what our goal is. Is that why this team really came out on a mission this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the sour taste that was left in our mouth all off season, and then just to see these guys hit the ground running in spring, it was. I mean, you could feel that it was something special, and now we just need to do what we're capable of, and it'll turn out well.
A couple final questions for you. So they're going to institute at the AAA level.
Yeah.
They're going to institute the challenge system only for balls and strikes. Now, I guess eventually this is going to come to the majors.
Yep.
Are you a guy that likes it old school, have the umpire back there, or everybody's watching on HD TV now at home, they can see everything, it's on social media. Would you like to have some sort of automated balls and strikes or a challenge?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think the one thing I don't want it to do is the the ABS system, which is the automatic balls and strikes, so we don't have umpires calling it. So I think the challenge system's better of the two, just because you take away the art of catching. Like, I mean, JT and Stubby do an unbelievable job back there, and to just kind of take a big part of their work and just throw it out of the game, I think would just not be good for our game. So I like the challenge system way better than the ABS system.
All right, and we saw on the big screen, fair or foul, they played a game.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the wave.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting because you sometimes are coming in a huge moment in the 7th or 8th or whatever, or the 9th, and then, like, the fans are doing the wave.
Yeah.
Now, you're getting sold-out crowds. So you have a lot of kids, you know, you have a lot of people that are experiencing this for the first time. You a fan of the wave or not the wave? Eliminate the wave.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the wave at a baseball game. I think it's more of like a soccer stadium type thing.
Yeah. And that's sometimes your biggest moment, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, a baseball field, like, it's just, there is a end point. Like these football stadiums and soccer stadiums, it goes all the way around. So it makes sense to do the wave.
Right.
We're missing 75 feet out in center field,
like
or
where do you
100
pick
feet
it up?
out. Yeah, so it's like, it's not really a wave.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not a fan of the wave at baseball.
Yeah. No, and I think a lot of your teammates agree with that.
Yeah, I think it was pretty 50-50 on that one.
So you see all those polls when they put them up on the big screen.
Well, yeah, because our TV down in the bullpen is a delay feed, so we get the video board in between innings because we don't get the commercials.
Yeah.
So we get that. Yeah.
Now, I also have a question about ERA, right? So, not in your case, but let's say a reliever comes in and let's say he has an inherited runner.
Yep.
He could give up a run every game,
Yep.
but not get charged for it.
Right.
So, do you think there's any situation where the earned run should be charged to the reliever that comes in and not necessarily the starter?
I think ERA should just be wiped off the earth.
Completely, get rid of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's WHIP is a lot better stat. Just walks, hits per innings pitched. So if you have above I don't know what the exact average is, but I'd say like a 1.3 WHIP, it's probably not your job to come in with runners on. But if you have below a 1.1 WHIP, it's probably your job to do that. So I don't know, earned run, I mean, we saw it last year with Craig. He got screwed over his first 2 games of the season. Position player came in and cashed in all of his runs, and his ERA is inflated, but he's still an all-star. Because he had 2 bad games, his ERA was still at 3-something, but he had 29 appearances where he was dominant.
Yeah.
So ERA for relievers is I think for all pitchers it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't tell you if you're good or not, because especially looking back with the shift, and I mean if a fly ball to center field with 2 outs, bases loaded, gets lost in the sun, that's 3 earned runs.
Right. Yeah, it's a good
So
point.
is earned run valuable, or like because Nola got a fly ball that's caught 99% of the time.
Right. I also think, my personal opinion is, like, if there's a batter up and his job is to move the runner over,
It's a sacrifice.
right?
It should be.
But they don't count
Nope.
that as a run
Nope.
hit with the runner in scoring position.
Right.
He
Yep.
did his job.
Yep.
Why should he be penalized?
I agree. Yeah,
All right, we agree on that. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a lot of old school baseball that just isn't rewarded today.
Yeah.
Like Luis Ariz doesn't get paid for hitting 340 because he doesn't hit home runs.
Right.
It's like, but he hits 340.
Right.
There's got to be a value to that.
Yeah.
But it's just not as valuable as 40 homers.
And I do think also with Kyle Schwarber, like, he's the poster child for this, they should not put average on the screen anymore. It should be on base percentage. A walk is as good as a single.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
if Kyle is walking, that's as good as a hit.
Right.
In my opinion. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. I mean, average, I guess you could look at it as it's ERA hitters average.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I think you'll like one stat. I believe I read that you had last year, you were tops among all pitchers in strikeouts per 9 innings.
Cool.
Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
Your agent didn't tell you that? Nobody told you?
I'm not a numbers guy. My agents
Yeah.
know that, so I don't.
So you don't pay attention to any of that?
No.
Really?
I got to get the next guy out.
Yeah.
So they'll all get better if I get the next guy out.
So if you come into the game and you inherit a runner or 2 or whatever, does that, like, get the adrenaline going even more?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm way more upset when I give up someone else's runs than my own runs. I take a lot of pride in leaving their runs out there for them. Yeah, I'd rather them be mine than someone else's.
Do you apologize to the starting pitcher?
I mean, yeah, but it's also like some pitchers don't like. I know I don't like that. Like, if you come in and apologize to me for giving up a run, it's like, dude, it's not like
Right.
it's my fault they were out there.
Right.
So you don't owe me an apology. I should be apologizing to you coming in the middle of an inning. The guy didn't do my job. So, I mean, some pitchers don't like it, but I mean, I always say my bad because it just eats me alive.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. To wrap this up, you of course are a host on NBC Sports Philadelphia, The Card Life.
Yep.
What is the most expensive or most valuable card that would relate to the Phillies that you could think
relate
of?
to the Phillies?
Like, is there like when I was growing up here in Philly, Mike Schmidt?
Okay, I was going to say
early years.
Yeah,
like,
last year, or no, this would have been 2 years ago for me. It was part of Stadium Pulls, which is my YouTube channel of all the cards. And Jake Diekman bought a box of Top Sterling, and we hit a redemption card, a dual auto of Mike Schmidt and Bryce Harper. And
really?
And it was numbered to 3. So I thought that was cool because Bryce is number 3 and it was numbered to 3. So that was a really cool card. It was Mike Schmidt and Bryce Harper dual auto.
What do you think that would be worth?
See, I'm a pack rat when it comes to cards. I'm not big into the values. Like, I feel like a lot of these younger collectors are all about the value and how it grows. I'm more so just cards tell stories to me. So I mean, where I opened them, how I got them, teammates that have signed them. That's the value to me more so than the price. But
that's cool.
I mean, I would say it's a few $100 for sure. I mean, you gotta. I mean, those are legends. So I don't know what their John Hancock cost, but it's a nice card.
What's the most expensive card you ever purchased?
Did
you have to ask your wife?
Yeah, no. So that's where I'm more of a pack rat, where I buy boxes and open them to see. But I individually have purchased a few Kirby Puckett cards just because he was one of my favorite players growing up, watching him play. And then the most expensive card I bought was I bought a Freddie Freeman rookie card because he took me deep, and I buy cards of guys who have taken me deep, and that was the year I think he won MVP that year. So his card prices were stupid. So yeah, that was a little salt in the wound, but
I would have figured you'd buy the card of somebody you struck out.
Nah. I jokingly say if they take me deep, they're worth collecting. So got to buy their cards.
It's a great line for the show. It's a great tagline. Excellent. Very nice. Well, it's great catching up with you, Matt. Congrats on a great season. Best wishes the rest of the way. And watch your show on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Right on.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.